Hey Wanderers,
I'm Amanda.
and I'm Ron.
Welcome to Wanderlost.
So hey guys, we're going to talk today about free things to do in Rapid City, South Dakota.
And I went to the website, a tourist website for South Dakota, which I will put the link in the description. And it gave us the top 10 free things to do in Rapid City. And we thought we would just go down the list and talk about them. And if we've had any experience with them, tell you about that. And then when you come, you will already have at least 10 things to do and they won't cost you any money. So what's number one?
The South Dakota Air and Space Museum. So this is a museum, an indoor and outdoor museum, which is just off of Ellsworth Air Force Base here in Box Elder, South Dakota. So it's just outside of Rapid City. But it's a great free resource that you can go to. They've got probably 35, 40 planes, I believe, outside all different types, airframes, as well as some missiles and things like that.
And I have a question. Even if the building, the museum building is closed, can you still walk around the outside area? I know they have a gate there, but I don't think I've ever seen it closed.
No, the gate does close overnight.
Overnight. Okay, so they don't want you parking overnight.
Right, but like right now in the current environment, the inside is closed, but you can still do all the outside parts. Okay. But they've got their two biggest planes. They have a B-1 there, which makes sense because of Ellsworth and Rapid City, and then they also have a B-52, which used to be stationed here at Ellsworth.
And they have missiles, which
yes.
there are still some missile silos in South Dakota, and you can, for money, it costs money, but they will take you, right, to tour a silo as part of the museum. And inside the museum is really awesome. We have been there multiple times because it's free. Yeah. And it has some really good exhibits and really cool things inside the museum too.
And history of how Ellsworth itself links to South Dakota. So what's number two?
Number two is the Dinosaur Park. So you know, if you have watched our videos, we've been there a few times. We have a video just dedicated to the Dinosaur Park, but then we also have some hiking videos where we started out on just on one of the streets in town and we hiked up to the Dinosaur Park. So it's definitely free entertainment, and there's always something for families to go up there and have picnics and climb around and play on the dinosaurs. They also have a small museum that has really weird hours. So
and it's really more of a museum size, mainly it's
a gift shop. It's not a museum. It's a gift shop. But so if you really want to see the gift shop, make sure that you call ahead or check the hours. I wouldn't check the hours online. I would call the number to actually find out if they're open or not, because the hours online are not always correct.
But it's a really good place if you have little kids to be able to be outdoors, let them run off some steam. They can see the dinosaurs from almost anywhere in town. Yeah. So you can get them excited about going up there. So it's a really good place to go, especially maybe if you want to have a picnic or something and let your kids run off some energy. And
it's not like a park. Like there's not swings and there's not slides. It's just dinosaurs, but you can climb on the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Except maybe for the really big one, because it'd be a long way down.
Right, it would be. Okay.
Storybook Island.
Oh.
Not Storybook.
So I want to call it Storybook all the time because of Once Upon a Time.
So Storybook Island is just a park in Rapid City that has a lot of fairy tale exhibits, is the wrong term? Displays?
Yeah. It's fiberglass models. Models, statues. Yeah. I don't even know what they are, but they're
displays.
Displays. And you can walk in and out of them. Like it's not, you don't just view them. It's actually there.
But it's just different fairy tales from books. So you've got things like.
Well, when you first come in, you've got Rapunzel hanging out the window, and then I don't know, the 7 dwarves are in there with Snow White. They even have a Barney one, which we thought was really weird and.
It's just dumb.
And creepy. So they have a train that goes all around the little park, and it costs money all of the time. But the rest of the park is free, and that's free to get in. You don't have to ride the train. You can just walk around and have a picnic and do whatever you want to do around there.
What is cool is that they do, around some of the holidays, do some special things. So around, I know Halloween and Christmas, they open the park up special. So for Halloween, the kids can go in their costumes and they can go around and get candy. I believe it's like $2 or $3 entry fee.
Yeah, it's not free on holidays.
Right. So it's not free, but the kids come around during Christmas. Everything's decorated with Christmas lights,
Yeah.
and so a lot of people go there, and they'll have hot chocolate for sale, and there's a small entry fee. So not free all the time, but it's certainly something cool to do if you're here during those times.
Right.
So what's number 4?
Number 4 is Chapel in the Hills. So the Chapel in the Hills is so cool to me because it's like an oasis kind of. You are in the middle of the city and you just make a left turn and all of a sudden you're here and you're like, oh, it feels like you've transported yourself not only out of the city but out of the country. It's
so it is a all wooden
yes.
chapel of a Norwegian make, which it was made overseas, disassembled and brought over here and assembled piece by piece here.
Yeah.
And so it's very cool. It is a Lutheran church, I believe Evangelical Church, Lutheran Church of America. So during the summer they have Vesper service, which are the evening services, usually sometime around 5:30 or something like that you can attend. And if you're an ELCA pastor, you can work there for the summer. It would be kind of a cool summer job.
The coolest thing that I like about the Chapel in the Hills is the prayer walk behind it. It is so peaceful and quiet and just a short little walk to a little water. It's not really a waterfall, I guess, kind of a water feature thing, but it's awesome.
Yeah, so they've got a gift shop there on site, and they've got a little museum with some history of how it links to the Norwegian people. Also, it's a very popular spot for weddings.
Yeah.
So you may go out there for a visit, and there's a wedding going on. But weddings and like military retirements, we've seen some of those out there too. So there may be something going on when you go out there at any time, but it's definitely a cool little location.
Okay, what's number 5?
Number 5 is kind of a weird one. It's free as long as you don't want to buy anything, and it's
right.
the Prairie. It's the Prairie Edge Trading Company. So it's a
shop.
It's a shop downtown, but they feature a lot of local native artists. Their handiwork,
right.
Whether it's paintings or making traditional native artifacts for sale. So you can buy a replica tomahawk, you can buy a replica peace pipe, all those sorts of things. So it's free. It's on this list because it's cool to just walk in and
right.
look at the
stuff. It is.
stuff.
A lot of people just walk around. They just have cool stuff there in general, and because they sell art, they have art displayed, and so it's just a nice place, especially if you're downtown. I mean, it's right next to Main Street Square, so yeah. If you're downtown and you're walking around killing time, this is definitely a place worth checking out. And then if you happen to be a collector of certain things, you can definitely find it in here.
Fair word of warning, though, Rapid City's downtown, except for restaurants, pretty much shuts down at 6 o'clock all year round. So you just be aware of that.
Yeah, and speaking of restaurants, they do not get less busy as the time passes. We were just there like a couple weeks ago, and there were tourist people there, and we were going to a pretty popular place, and it was right at 5 o'clock, and we had a 45-minute wait just for the two of us. And there was a family of like 6, and the woman, the mom, was deciding whether they thought more people would be there at 7. Like, should we leave and come back at 7? The answer is no.
No.
You should not leave. If it says 45 minutes, then just wait the 45 minutes. There's enough things to do to walk around and kill time, and they text you on your phone when your table's ready. So eat early here, especially if you go downtown. And then the shops, they all close at 6. So if you come back at 7 to eat, you won't even have a shop to walk in to kill time.
So what's number 6?
It is the Museum of Geology. And this might be the only place on the list we've not been. No, there's one more place on the list that we've not been. But this is at the South Dakota School of Mines. And when we moved here, I thought they were saying mines, like your brain. And I was like, that is such a weird name for a college. Like, this is the School of Mines. So, like, if you don't have a mind, you can't come here. Like, I don't know what I thought. I just thought it was really weird.
It's a terrible thing to waste.
Oh, my gosh.
So So no, it's
But
a school
it's
of
a
mines,
mine.
as in geology.
Right.
So folks who want to do mining and all those sorts of things, this is where they come to school. So we've not visited in and of itself just going to the Museum of Geology, but a lot of scouting events are held at the School of Mines. Merit Badge Midway is the big one. So I've been there and I've seen some of their smaller displays around the school, but we've not been through the museum itself.
And when we hike up M Hill, it's called M because it's the South Dakota School of Mines. And so the M for mines is really big on the hill, and that's why it's called M Hill. So what is number 7?
Art Alley. So this is a neat little local Rapid City flair. So when you go downtown, really just...
Yeah, another downtown.
Yeah, not far from where you would go to Prairie's Edge. There is about a 2-block stretch of alley between the 2 main streets, Main Street and St. Joseph. You walk down those alleys, people come and do graffiti and they tag it with just beautiful works of art. And it's always changing because it's a public space and people go in and do new art.
And they're allowed to do it. It's not.
Yeah,
it is graffiti and it is tagging for most of the pictures, but it's not illegal in that area.
Right. It's something Rapid City is designated for that. So you can see a lot of the local creativity. It's a great way to kill time when you're downtown. And just if you're walking around to the shops, just walk through Art Alley.
Or if you get there after 6 and realize all the shops are closed, you can still walk through the alley.
That's true. So what's number 8?
Number 8 is Memorial Park and a Berlin Wall exhibit. This is another one that's, I'm going to say downtown, but it's probably right next to downtown. Like, you do have to cross a pretty main highway if you've been downtown, and that's where you park to get across to it. But it's not hard to cross. There's definitely crosswalks and lights and everything. But it is a play area for kids. Yep. So it has a ton of different things to play on and climb on. And then in the middle of the park, it has part of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah. So it's again, kind of like Dinosaur Hill. It's a great place to go to let your kids run around. There's a lot of open space here. The bike trail that goes through, people go walking and running on it. Rapid Creek runs through there. So it's a beautiful area and a lot of playthings for kids and just real estate for people to go hang out.
And when there's not a pandemic, there are so often outdoor concerts that take place here. So, but not right now. What is number 9?
Number 9 is the fact that Rapid City is the city of presidents. Which sounds and seems kind of weird. I mean, we do have Mount Rushmore.
I think that's where it started.
That's probably where it started. But if you go downtown, again, in Rapid City, on every street corner, you'll find a president. So there are bronze statues of 44 presidents. Well, the first 44 presidents.
Right.
So every time we get a new president, when they leave office, they will put up a new one. So Obama's statue was put up like right before we got here.
The spring after we got here.
The spring after we got here.
Right.
So they get them up pretty quick when the president ends their term of office, but all 44 presidents are there, and you can walk and see them. A cool thing, and we've been a part of this. So Rapid City, because of where it is, has some pretty volatile weather, so you can have a really warm week and then go into a blizzard over the weekend. And so during winter, people or groups will go and they will put gloves and scarves and hats on these statues with the sole purpose of, especially our homeless population, being able to take what they need, or those who are less fortunate. So it's a really cool thing. So if you're going down and you look and you're like, why has Thomas Jefferson got a Cowboys hat on? It's because somebody decided to put that out there if somebody needed a stocking cap.
Okay, a cowboy. And
what's number 10? Number 10.
It's another one that we've not been to, and it is called the Pawnseum. It's combined together. And it's actually a Pawnseum and gun shop, if you have the full name. And I think
it was a watch shop.
Well, it was a clock shop initially.
Okay.
Clock and guns initially.
Okay.
And then people started bringing things in to pawn, as you do, apparently. And it's now turned into a Pawnseum. And so they have tons of clock stuff and apparently guns. We've not been into the store either. But again, it's just a store. and it's downtown. So it's kind of like Prairie's Edge, where you're just going to walk in. It's free to walk in, but then the stuff that you buy is not free. So maybe it would be a cool place to see. We've never been there, so I don't
And
really
now
know.
it's not a good time.
Yeah, now we can't go into a lot of buildings. So, and I'm not even sure if they're open.
Right.
They probably are.
Yeah.
It's tourist season, but I'm sure they probably also close at 6 o'clock because they're downtown. So, be aware.
All right. So that's 10 free things to do in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Yeah, and if you guys have done any of those, tell us about it down below. And if you want to do some of those, tell us when you're coming to do them. I think it would be cool to just talk about any of these free things that you've done or that you want to do.
So thanks for joining us. Come back next week where you're going to see me and some of my Chapel family, and we're going to go up to a little hiking place called Devil's Bathtub.
Sounds scary.
It wasn't. Bye, guys.
Bye. You say number one.
Okay. Number one. Oh, you.
I mean, I thought, why are you calling it a cowboy's hat? Okay.